All right, guys, we live. It's Monday night. Monday night, I'm here with my guys, Kerry Davis, Smoke Dixon. Now, Smoke, you tried to get one off on me before we got on camera, right?
Me?
You tried to get one off on me about my hair, right?
I
Gray
think
hair.
I think it was about your sight
Yeah.
or lack thereof. Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen,
Visually impaired.
like I told y'all, my grandmother used to tell me when I was a kid to back up away from the TV because it was going to hurt your eye. It was going to mess your vision up. But what she didn't understand is that I already couldn't see. That's why I was so close up on the television.
2 years old, wearing glasses. I got you.
I've been having them for a long time. Now they've gotten better. I got better shades now than when I was young.
They've gotten thicker, brother.
They're not plastic no more.
That's what money does to you.
Hey,
No,
man.
man. Listen, but I will say this. I will. This is something that people also can see. I'm still the only person on the show that has hair that his hair comes in.
You know what? I'm gonna let mine grow in.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna let
Don't
it
do
grow.
that. Don't do that. Don't do
I'm
that.
gonna
Don't do
let it
that.
grow.
Don't do that. Listen, Carrie, listen.
I'm gonna
You
let
a
it
good
grow.
looking dude, man. Smooth shave, beard, locked in, all that. Don't that's bad behavior. Don't do that.
Let him talk me into it.
No, that's a bad look. If it's gone, it's gone. See, here's the thing, Reed. Your barber skill set is rare. Because the way that he connects that and makes it looks like a uniformed hairline, even though it's sitting way back yonder, like y'all Southern folks say, it's incredible. Shout out to your barber. Elite
That's a haircut
liners.
when you're 6'5" and can't nobody see over your head.
Man, he constantly holding his head back like this just so you can't see it.
and think he proud. He just don't want you to see what's going on up top.
With the Beijing.
Listen, razor lining, right? I'm talking about full facial, goatee, come in smooth.
Smooth.
And my hair is good enough, right?
Yeah. Metallic.
I can
Platinum.
I can tell you what. I can grow cornrows right now if I wanted to. Dread.
I think you can.
Right.
I mean,
I got a comment for you.
Listen. I ain't hating. I'm just telling the truth. I think you can grow cornrows. The only thing is, you remember when Kerry, you remember when Jerry had his?
Yeah, I do.
When we was youngsters just getting in and it started back here and went all the way down. And we was like,
no, mine's not gonna be like that.
Man, listen, your barber is tough. I'm saying once you start pulling that scalp, Kerry, we had braids. Once you start pulling, your hairline's gonna go back at least 1/8 of an inch. And it's really gonna be like right here now, Reed. You're gonna have the Stephen A. Smith joint, this the unicorn. Then you're gonna have to spray it with the Beijing. It's gonna get back. Just leave it like you have it right now. I think it's incredible. Your forehead consistently grows weekly, hairline stays straight.
So
when your eyesight is bad, you can't see much, but it's all right.
Hey, so listen, we got a comment. He said I got the do-rag marks on my forehead. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you what. Hold on, Kerry. While you talking, he said Kerry do too.
Hey, Kerry, do you wear a do-rag?
No.
Oh, I was about to say that's embarrassing.
Going by my day.
I'm gonna tell you this. The one thing I will tell you, when I was a kid, I put a Hawaiian silky kit in my hair. And my father came home and saw that Hawaiian silky in my hair. He tried to cut it out with a
What is that? You permed your hair?
Basically.
Yeah.
Women's perm?
No,
y'all probably ain't do the Hawaiian.
Is it a women's perm that you had to sit there like my sisters used to and have it burn them and they sitting there shaking and then they had to wash it out? Women's perm.
I'm gonna tell you, he was. I'm gonna tell you what. Big Reed was really upset.
You was upset with yourself because it burned your scalp.
It didn't burn my scalp.
You didn't leave it long enough in. You didn't leave it long enough.
I'm gonna tell you what. What burnt it was when he tried to take it out with that knife. He was trying to cut it out with a straight razor blade, a butter knife, anything he could get it. I thought he was gonna cut my whole head.
Hey, Reed. Hey, listen. Hold up. 20-second timer. What was the reasoning behind that?
Why did I get it?
Yeah.
Because it's easier to wave it up.
So you put in women's perm in your hair to wave it up?
No, it's not women's perm, first of all. So stop saying
silky. You got
see,
as a man.
Is that for men?
we're gonna talk about this in the show. This is what the media does. So if you listening to this, the media says things to get you to believe things that aren't true. So he absolutely knows that that's not a women's kit that I put in my
It's
head.
a men's kit,
But he says that.
like Duke, like you had the Duke Jerry S curl type look.
He's saying that to trick the viewers into believing that I try to put a. It's a difference between what I did and what a perm is.
What's the difference?
You put a perm is like flat ironing
Straighten your hair out.
No, like now you put the same chemical in your hair.
The perm straightens your hair.
That's what he wanted.
Nah, he wanted.
So when you brush it, that thing lay down right.
So it's kind of like when we talk about NIL, right? And you criticize it sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. And you were actually a part of one of the first recruiting classes to get NIL before you were supposed to. So I'm
Arguably, supposedly.
I'm always floored your stance on the NIL conversation, being that you still have your NIL money to this day. You've invested it well, you've taken care of things, but like the NIL money you got way back in '99,
Reed, I'm about getting money.
Started your lifestyle.
I'm about getting money. If it's about getting money and the fair market value and you understanding your value, I'm all about it. But when you don't understand your value and you're pocket watching another man and overvalue yourself because you lack self-awareness, smoke ain't for that because you're going to be ass out.
Well, smoke, it's just like the guy that lives on the street from you. His grass doesn't look quite as good as yours. His yard is not quite as big as yours, right? But he didn't have the opportunity to play football at Alabama. He might have played it like, who knows where he played, Cumberland or something like that.
He still can go to the league.
There you go. So listen, we're going to get into this a little bit, right? Smoke, you got your Tennessee orange on today.
Do I? Oh, didn't know I was wearing this.
You had Tennessee orange on today, so I'm gonna start with matter of fact, I know what you think. I've been talking to you about this all week. I'm gonna throw a curveball and start this conversation.
Reed, I know how to hit curveball, so throw it.
Right, I'm gonna throw it to Kerry. I'm starting off. Kerry, what's your take on the situation with Tennessee and Nico?
I thought it was interesting, man. I thought we talked about it today on our show, and the question I pose is: did Tennessee drawing a line in the sand? Do we see more programs doing it? The fact that Nico Imo Ali,
come on, man,
Imo Ali Abba. There you go, Imo Ali Abba. I've been saying it right all day.
Just say Nico. We get it. We get you.
The fact that he decided that he wanted to get more money. Now let's take it back. He didn't show up to practice. No call, no show. Okay. No call, no show. You didn't show up to practice, and then it comes out that you actually didn't do that, didn't come to practice because you wanted more money. You wanted to
Kerry, 1 second. You talk multiple, just one.
More. I thought it was just one practice. I
got it. Okay, just one.
I wasn't aware that it was multiple practices.
No, I just it's just one.
It was one.
It's just one.
So didn't come to practice, no call, no show. We know how that can be if you have a job, no call, no show. But you got a deal that you want to work, and so I guess you go sit down with your head coach and the powers that be, and you tell them that you would like to go from this number to that number. The new number obviously being more than what you're already receiving. For Nico, I want to say if it works out, then it was the right move. And if it works out for him and it doesn't work out for Tennessee, then it was a bad move by Tennessee. I think we won't know the ramifications of how this all plays out until in the next couple of weeks when Nico gets a deal or gets signed to a new school, whether he gets more than he was already getting, whether he gets the number that he was asking for, what reports are saying like $4 million in comparison to the $2 million that he was already receiving. And then we won't know how it works out for Tennessee until the fall. That was a college football playoff team last year. So did you decide to take a stand and end up hurting your program because you got an elite quarterback or a quarterback that is projecting to be elite. Did you hurt your program by deciding it wasn't worth paying them? And did you miss out on more money because you were unwilling to pay a little bit more money to him? So for me, I think all parties are satisfied with their decision because I think Nico is going to get the market number that he wants. And I guess Tennessee is like, we're not going to be held hostage for anything, and we're going to move on. Now, here's a young man. I mean, he was 8th in passing yards in the conference, right? So we're not. I think in his case, you got to be careful. That would be my point. I think he should have been more careful. I don't know what the market says. Now, again, if he gets $4 million, $5 million, $6 million from another school in the Big 10, Big 12, ACC, man, you tip your cap to him. But if he goes and gets the same amount to a lesser program that wasn't in the college football playoff, or a lesser program that has no opportunity to be in the college football playoff next season, I think it's a bad move. But I think the only way we know is through time.
Go ahead, Rita. You itching? I'm gonna clean up. Go ahead. I'm gonna clean up. Go ahead.
This is, you're never a better team without your best player. You never lose your best player and become a better football team. This was a playoff team a year ago, and people will bring up numbers and they'll say, "Oh, well, you were 8th in passing." Is that totally his fault? Do we not have some receiver deficiencies? We don't have a receiver core that they've had in the past. He was sacked 30 times as well. We have an environment now where money is an issue. And talking to certain people from his camp, it doesn't appear that the money that was being asked for, or if money was being asked for, is not totally what's being reported on, right? And I'm not gonna get on here and air out all his stuff. He'll talk. Nico will address everybody when he has the time and when he's prepared to talk. But in this business, we really get upset when people don't do what we want them to do, or what
when
the players don't do what we think they should do, or they're not as appreciative as we think they should be. We get upset about the decisions they make. But we have to remember that we're in this position because of the coaches, right? Years ago, when we played, well, in the after we played, you couldn't transfer. You had to sit. Then they could control where you could go. They could really limit you. I got horror stories that I've seen as a player and as a coach that happened to kids. They had ample opportunity to fix this. Guys started suing schools. They started suing the NCAA. Now we're here and we have this system. You can't be mad at anybody that utilizes the system that we have in place. And all the old heads, guys our age, right, or anybody that's over 40 in these situations, they'll say, well, when we played, well, we were more committed, or we were more this. Listen, you couldn't leave.
Lie.
You couldn't leave. If you could leave, you would have left.
1,000%.
If you could have left in 1995, you would have left. You couldn't leave, right? So you had to get permission from your parents. You had to get permission from the coach. You had to get permission from the AD. It was too much red tape. Kid doesn't even have to call his parents now. He can just do whatever he wants to do.
Straight to compliance office. Sign off the paperwork.
I don't have a problem with any player who asks for more money, and I don't have a problem with any coach or program that says no. I think they both have the right to make whatever decision they're going to make. But one thing that I always remind every coaching friend of mine, every coaching client of mine, every player that's involved in situations like this, you better win. See, everybody that's cheerleading you right now say, oh, you did the right thing. This is the stance that you need to take. Tell them to get a quarterback because they paid their quarterback. See, they paid their quarterback. This is where the emotional tricks come in, right? this is where the nonsense comes in the game. Everybody that's cheerleading you saying, "Hey, check this kid, do this to the kid, right? Put the kid in his place." They quarterback.
Tell him to get out your office.
Yeah, they
Tell him
quarterback.
to get out your locker room.
They pay their quarterback his money because they know that come October, if you 2-4,
Mm,
Life get
right?
hard.
nasty work.
And
Read.
what we talking about?
So I'm gonna attack this from the only side, one of the few sides that I can attack it from, and that's on the personnel side. And to my knowledge, the University of Tennessee does not have a general manager, right?
I,
And when I was a general manager at University of Maryland with Coach Loxley, it was my job to intervene and don't let any of that stuff get to him before I went ahead and vetted it all out. Make sure I spoke to the right people. And if this problem, from what we've hearing, and it's also rumors again, and it started out in December when it's speculated that he asked for more money or else he would hold out, I'm going to say that's nonsense. Because you and I both know if a player says that in December and still plays the game, why didn't such player jump into the portal when he could have? Now you let the situation get all the way to the spring game when he misses one practice. We're not talking about multiple practices, just one. We haven't heard anything else about this young man other than he's a model citizen. To now say I'm removing him off the team because he believes that he is bigger than the T. Well, what I would say is that every head coach should have a general manager or someone that speaks to the representatives of each player so that this doesn't have to get to an emotional decision between coach and father, because this is what it got down to. As a father, I'm going to always speak for my kid, and I'm emotionally attached because that's my own, that's blood. And as a coach, we've always been coaches. Both you guys been head coach, I've been a position coach. If somebody tries to come into your building and try to tell you how to dictate what happens in your building, what are both of y'all going to tell them? Get the hell out. But neither one of you guys are going to allow someone to come in from the beginning to set a precedent of how this building is being ran. So two things can be true. Yes, it did the Nico camp handle the business right? Probably not. But did UT handle this right? Not so much. Because now you have two quarterbacks that's on your roster with zero experience. And last time I checked, UT's went to the playoff last year, and they're ready to make another playoff run for a national championship. So you can cut your nose off to spite your face just to say, you know what, I'm drawing the line in the sand and saying that we're not going to be held hostage. But when you're held hostage, there's no negotiation. Somebody has a pistol to your head. No one had that. It was negotiation. In negotiation, if the number was 3 and one camp said it was 4, Reed, we sit down and we talk this out. Because my job as a general manager was never allow this to get to the point that we're now only having 2 quarterbacks on the roster going into the season looking for someone that I have to poach from another roster or sign that's in the portal to help my team. To me, that makes no sense.
why was there no report in December that he threatened to not play for more money? And
Smear
if in fact
campaign.
he wanted more money, would he have not been the number 1 quarterback in the transfer portal in December?
Between him and John Mateer, yes.
Okay. And those guys were getting offered 4, 5, 6 million.
Darren Mensah,
Darren Mensah got
4, from what we're hearing.
right. So the thing is, if that was the play, then that play made, and in December he would have been allowed to go to an SEC school, right? That would have been on the table. They just can't go in the spring period, but they can go.
And they just have to sit out a year. They can, but sit out a year.
So he would have been the prohibitive number 1 guy in December. Well, this didn't come up then, but it's coming up now.
Right.
So a lot of times we get emotional about decisions or comments, but But I used to tell college coaches this when I was a high school coach. Many college coaches sat across from me in the office begging for players. And yet they were begging, right? There was no tough guy act. There was no um, there was no sticking to your guns. It was begging. So you can't do that and create that type of relationship. Then when the kid gets there, you say you don't like it. Because that's you lose them the same way you got them.
Right. Or when we were in negotiation, I said, give me everything. And you never said no.
Mm-hmm.
You never said, you know what? I don't know right now. Hold off. Let's let him earn this. Like, he was one of the first ones that was getting the M sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he was the highest paid. I mean, I remember us doing the on our old show when we talked about it then. Like, and this kid is a special talent. And then
Yes.
there's his teammates liked him. He was a leader on the team. They went to the playoffs. And they
Now,
liked
Reed, the
him.
only thing I would say now is there's a caveat to the playoff run. They went to the playoff. Their team was built on running the football, and they did a very good job running the football, played really good defense. Passing game was inconsistent.
Well, that's
But
playoff football.
no, not in the playoffs, all season. All
Mhm.
season. All
I'm
season.
saying that's how you get to the playoffs, though. That's the formula.
Correct. But how you win a championship is with good quarterback play.
Mhm.
And now, when we talk about good quarterback play, that's a combination of two things: coaching and player accepting the coaching. So it has to work out. So if the kid's not developing into the talent that you think he's supposed to be or become, who's taking the ownership of saying that we're not doing a good enough job of developing the talent?
The coaches never take the ownership. They typically, it gets pointed at the player.
Right.
That's bad business.
Right.
So I think Smoke, you hit the nail on the head when you said cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like what Tennessee did potentially. Again, we don't know. I mean, maybe they find something.
Maybe they believe in those two guys that are there on campus now,
They do, and maybe they feel like
Jake and George McIntyre.
they don't have to pay as much money for these two guys as on their roster. But if and I'm with Reed to a degree. If I know we made it to the college football playoffs with this young man last year under him, under center, and I believe we have an opportunity to do some amazing things in the SEC and potentially put ourselves in a position to be in a college football playoff again and hope that this time around we perform better than we did against the eventual national champ. We got to have a conversation. Like I said, it's about negotiation. It ain't about now the conversation, but it is two sides. It is two sides to it. Like as a player, this is no different than this is just free agency, like what NFL players deal with every single year, except for they usually get a contract 3-4 years and then they got to go do it again.
But Kerry, we ain't involved in the contract negotiation. We don't hear none of that.
100%. So you have to know you have to know your value, your market value, and if somebody you are worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you.
There it is.
Tennessee is not willing to pay you that, then you do go somewhere else to find it. And again, the question is going to be: is there a team that's going to pay him that much money?
Absolutely.
Then he made the right decision.
Kerry, you know, every coach believes that they can. If the talent is there, they're going to say, you know what? I can do a better job than that last coach because I can do A, B, C, and D. I see deficiency, coach. I can fix it. We know that in the NFL, every level. So when you have talent, you have to develop some tolerance for the talent. The only thing that I would say is this: you have to remove the interaction of parents within the building if this becomes business.
But you can't remove it when that's what you use to get the kid. At
Reed?
the point that you go down that road, that's the road you went down.
Agreed.
You didn't because here's the problem that we always have with coaches. When you set the precedent that person can call you anytime they want to call you, and
Bad
that's
business.
the promise that you made. Right? You didn't say in the recruiting process, now wait a minute, Dad, I'm not going to deal with you.
Only call me for academic purposes.
You didn't say that.
Right.
You didn't do that. You dealt with them. So when you deal with it, you deal with it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, this the biggest thing to me always comes down to this. I ain't losing for none of y'all. I'm not losing, bro. I'm not losing so y'all can get on the internet and say, Reed, man, I appreciate the stance that you took. You're
Yeah,
saving.
I
You're
think
saving the
Hey,
game.
hey, Reed, you know when you're around the way, and that one sucker go ahead and take that hit for everybody
I'm telling
and
you,
get knocked out cold. You like, man, you got heart, boy. You got your whoops, and you just took that for everybody. And again, everyone wants somebody to take that stance,
they just
but
don't want to
they
be.
aren't willing to take that stand with you or for you. So
And
yeah, it looks good, but you have the worst quarterback room in the SEC,
yeah,
only to probably the Mississippi State.
that decision could eventually cost him his job. So
He made a stance though. He
made
said,
a
"I ain't
stand.
losing this locker room."
But
I
I
ain't
think
losing.
it is also. I think there's a way you can go about it. Like you have to. Mike Tomlin would always say, "I'm gonna treat everybody. I'm gonna treat you all fairly. I'm not gonna treat everybody equally."
Absolutely
And so
not.
you'll be treated fairly, but we ain't gonna pretend that Kerry Davis is gonna be treated the same as Ben Roethlisberger.
No
Like
dice.
we're gonna be treated. I'm gonna be treated fairly, but it's levels to this, and I think that's a conversation. That's a real conversation that you have to have. But I also feel like as a coach, you do have to you do have to stand up and say, "Hey, man, we're not gonna," because once you allow that and you resign him and you offer him more money,
Yeah.
the next player is up is
Hey, Kerry, I remember in Pittsburgh, right? You guys had a rule. We are never going to negotiate during the season with Hines Ward. Hines Ward got that contract. You guys broke that rule, right? So
it says
again,
the
if,
rules.
if if you directly affect the bottom line, we all have to be honest with ourselves. You make rules, but there's some understanding and exceptions to those rules. Again, if you understand your roster to a T and you can afford to lose that player, well, daggone it, do so because you believe the ones in your building is just as good and you can get it out of them. If that's the case, I'm okay with that. If that's not the case, shame on you. You don't let it get this far. You handle it and just get it to the season. And by the end of the season, you figure that out.
Smoke. What I would tell my coaches and my kids is if I got Kerry Davis and Smoke Dixon on my team, I'd rather y'all two come to the game with me than the coaches because y'all got to play, right? Like I'm getting. I got friends in the media. I do media. I got friends all over the place. But I would rather have y'all playing, right?
Then the
Than
coach is coach.
coaching than the
Hey,
coach.
hey, hey, Carl, I'm glad you said that. I had a coach, an old head coach, sat me down one time. He was on the staff with Coach Walsh, Bill Walsh. And he said they're going through, and I think he was a receiver coach at that point, and they were talking about John Taylor and Jerry Rice. And he said, well, I can't get him to do this. I can't get him to. Coach pulled him up and said, hey, listen, not going to lie to you. I think you're a great coach. I can get another one to you. I can't get two more of them. So you better figure this thing out before I figure you out because you'll be out of a job quicker than I go out and draft two more of those. And again, Reed, I think we're all saying the same thing. Afford who you can afford to be. If you can afford to ask that young man to walk out of your building and be okay with it because you think that he does not bring as much value or the bottom line of winning, what's important now to your organization, your building, it's okay to tell him to leave. And I'm okay with Coach Heupel.
I'm
Like, I
okay
don't
that you.
disagree with it.
I'm okay that you did that.
But if it's not, and like you said, you're a 2-6, and that
No mercy.
Smokey's not
No
like
mercy.
growling right now, growling, and they're gonna ask you to walk out the building because next year you got Brandon Faison coming in there. He's gonna be a true freshman.
Well,
Meaning, what else do you have in your building to be equipped to go through that battle down in Athens, Tuscaloosa,
listen,
down there in College Station, in Austin? They ready to go. You are now rebuilding on something that you didn't have to.
the game is about players. Like
Absolutely.
it's a play. We talk about talent. We talk about players. And I know how it is when you coach and everybody is telling you stand firm. How you got to show
Get
them.
rid of him, coach.
None of them are doing that. No, believe me, my phone is ringing all day and all night for kids. None of them are doing that, right?
Now,
Like none of
I'll
them
just
are
say
doing it.
this. Carl Reed is because this is the same man that had a conversation with me about some players during his time as a coach. And the conversation he had, now there's some of them were really, really talented. And we all have coached really, really talented guys. But this same Carl Reed has also told me, man, I don't you know why you can't trust guys like that? Because in the fourth quarter, they're gonna do something that you know that they was gonna do.
It's
Right.
hard to win.
They're gonna show up in a way that they've been showing up all season long, all off season.
Kerry, they get you when they get you, and then when
But
they
here's
get you, it hurts.
but let me
You
tell
might as
you
well
this
get
though.
them out the way. That's the same. Now, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I know this the
You're
same.
not lying.
You
You're
told
not
me that.
lying. You are saying a true statement.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
here's the issue that with what you said. Once again, like Smoke does once on a show, you do it too. You just try to trick the viewers again.
I
I'm
just
not.
Let's
The
talk about
man
what
is
you
just telling
said.
it. All he's saying is,
It's a
Carl,
difference.
you found a new way of saying that I'd rather have good players. That sometimes I gotta get right, but I ain't kicking them off the team.
In this entire situation, nobody has come out and said the kid had a character issue,
Nope.
that he had a team issue,
Nope.
that he had a leadership issue,
Nope.
that he had a talent issue.
Nope.
That's what we're so we you're not getting rid of a cancer. What Carrie is referring to is me talking about kids who don't go to class, who cause problems off the field. Nico is not does not fit in that category.
Right.
That none of that has come out.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Nico because out of all of this, we're gonna forget Josh Heupel. We're gonna forget the dad, but wherever he goes, he's gonna have to walk and live in his own footsteps. And regardless, unless he never throws another interception, every game he has a perfect quarterback rating, and he's thrown for 300 yards, and he wins a Heisman, and his team wins a national championship. He's always going to be looked at and viewed as the young man that was money hungry and couldn't settle for $2.5 million.
Yeah,
But then I think that's sad.
you got to win and you got to have success. I remember the Arizona State people saying that they didn't want Jaden Daniels, and we saw how that turned out.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't come to me about my best player. I don't want anybody in the building, right, addressing me about my best player. You go find something safe to do. Go find right. Me and the dog over here, we got this.
We're gonna figure it out.
We got this figured out. But the rest of y'all, go find something else to do.
Hey, Reed, at one point there was a young man that got removed from Florida, had to go to Blinn Junior College, but then took the SEC over by storm. The best football player ever in the SEC, Cam Newton. There was a lot of things that was said about him that wasn't right. And at the end of the day, he proved everybody wrong. So at some point, we got to give these young players grace, and we have to let them become who they're going to be. And especially if they don't have anything that's negative against their character, like it's okay. If you don't like them, get them out your building.
Here's what I would be saying if I was talking to Nico. Who cares what these people think, bro? Why are you listening to them? Why are you listening to people that write about football and talk about football? They, number one, 90% of them don't know anything about football, right? You got to be concerned about three people and what they think of you. The owner, the general manager, and the head coach of a team in the National Football League. Now, if they start talking about your issues, then you need to take heed to that. You need to, you need to take care of some things. But fan bases, people on Twitter, reporters that get paid to commentate and bring out rage from fan bases, man, I'll see you later. I wouldn't pay any attention to anybody that had an opinion about how I was handling my business. Emphasis on the word mine.
Business.
See, you worry about your own sins because God ain't gonna ask you about mine.
Reed, so you're saying as long as he balls,
You got to ball. You got to play. If he plays,
We forgetting all of this.
man.
Hell yeah.
Listen, you can't play good
Nobody gonna
football.
think twice about it. The difference you gave the scenario of Cam. The only reason why we don't go in on Florida because they had a guy named Tebow and they won that. They won a couple of them. Right? we don't worry about it because Florida actually won a championship and didn't need Cam Newton.
Right.
But had Cam went on to be the Heisman Trophy winner, number one overall pick, national champion, and Florida stunk, then we looking up, we scratching our head like, man, what y'all over here doing? If Nico goes and has one of those type years, or the next couple of years, or whatever it is, one more year and done, like whatever the case may be, and I agree with you, Reed. If I'm him, first of all, I would have to believe that people are smart enough to know if I leave this place, I already have something of equal value of what I'm searching for, or what I'm reaching for, or something that I know I can attain. So I don't think he left blindly and just said, all right, well, y'all don't want me, I'm cool. Right? I don't think that's what that was. I think he knows, and I think there will be schools that are, in pursuit of his talents.
Kerry, I'm gonna tell you like this. I've been around a lot of bad character players in the NFL. You and I both know if you can play, Josh Gordon, how many opportunities Josh get?
What's your saying, Reed?
The game got to be bigger than your problem.
Game got to be bigger than your problem.
With talent comes tolerance, bro.
Once your problems become bigger than your game, they're gonna tell you, "Hey, my man."
And let me tell you something. When you in October, in November, you can't move the chains, and it's 3rd and 6, and you can't convert. It's a whole lot of dudes that's gonna be like, "I should have took that kid." Because let me tell you something. Winning
in Tennessee, in Knoxville,
man, they better win.
Winning is the only language in the world that's universally respected, and losing is the language that's universally rejected,
not accepted.
So whatever you decide, I'm cool with what I think. The coach you can do whatever you want to do. Like
it's your building.
You could, if you call me Smoke and you say, I got this player, he's causing me issues. What do you think? I'm gonna look on my schedule. I play Smoke in week 3. Man, I suspend him 3 games. I think you be doing the right thing. You let him come back week 4. You playing Kerry week 4, suspend him 3 games. Don't play him against me for playing with. There's no way I'm coming.
Coach, you did the right thing. Coach, listen. I've been a part of that. I've been a part of a player telling listen, I was a part of the situation when Leah Tungavailoa, the day before we got to spring practice, we sat on the phone until about 5 a.m, Reed, with the family and got it done. You never heard about it. It's in John Talty's book. Mm-hmm. But we sat there all night, all morning with our starting quarterback, saying that Auburn was going to give him $1.3 million. And spring practice started the next day. Mm-hmm. Guess what, Reed? Coach Loxley, the powers that be, sat down, hashed it out, never got to the point of this. Because he had people and himself that never got emotional, and he understood the business of football. Was Leah the model citizen? Absolutely not. But guess what? When Leah was at the University of Maryland, Michael Loxley won 3 consecutive bowl games and averaged 8 wins a year.
Yeah.
That's damn good at the University of Maryland.
I'm going to tell you this.
If it has anything to do with the bottom line of winning, you fix it. As long as it does not cripple your program, you set a bad precedent, you'll be all right, man.
There's no way I'm letting anybody disrupt winning. Kerry, what was you about to say?
I was just nothing. I'm sitting there listening. I
agree. This is for certain. If I'm coaching and you playing against me, I don't care what you read on the internet or what you may have heard. There's never a scenario where you come into the game and my best player is not playing. You may look over there and not see a coach. You ain't gonna look over there and not see one of the kids.
Reed, you have to bring a little bit more to it. If you're the best player, but you set a poor example of leadership and what we represent
Well, you
as a
wouldn't be on the
program,
team. You wouldn't be on the team. I'd already have
Yeah,
dealt.
that's a
correct.
problem.
But if it's business
It's just
and we
business.
can get to the business of it, you take care of business.
I coached a couple of great.
It should never be personal. Like your feelings don't matter. I don't think it like the personal part of it. You feel disrespected or you feel bothered or how dare you, man? It's business. So if there is no real issue there. This is the money that I think I can get. I think that my value is here, and somebody can either say I agree with you or I don't. But we can meet in the middle. I don't think you're worth that much, and maybe that's the conversation that was had, and maybe Nico stood firm on this number, and maybe Tennessee said we don't think you're worth that number. And if you feel like you are, okay, go ahead. If you're not willing to take 3 million, 3.5 million, whatever that number could be that Tennessee felt comfortable with. If it was the 2.5 million that they were already giving them, that's the number we're comfortable with. All parties made a decision, and we got to see how it plays out.
But you know what, Kerry? This is what you don't let happen. You don't allow it to get this far and get this dirty. So now that you, myself, and Carl are talking about this right now,
that's emotion,
and it's a negative.
That's people
view.
on the coaching staff leaking it to the media. We know how that got out. So,
but that's also a way to kind of disparage and be demeaning to a person, to a young man, because you didn't agree with his opinion of his value. If you felt like Smoke, if you told me, man, I'm worth $4 million, pay me or I don't want to be on it. Hey, okay.
If you think I'm worth it, you better give it to me.
Exactly.
Right.
If I don't have to. And that's my choice as well. And at the end of the day, you'll see who's right and who's wrong. I think Tennessee is going to be in a bad position.
I'm just telling you this. I don't care who you are. And for you high school coach, for all you people that listen that you coach, you're never a better team without your best player. You are never a better team without your best player.
Unless that best player is a cancer in the locker room.
You should have already dealt with that.
You should have already dealt with them.
You should already.
Kerry, you played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we know Antonio Brown was one of the ones that got ran off, right? Le'Veon Bell was one of the ones that Mike T said, "Hey, you know what? Enough." Ben went through whatever Ben went through during his time. At one point, whenever Le'Veon was the best running back, AB was considered the best receiver, or Ben was a top 3-4 quarterback, was it ever mentioned in your building that at some point we need to get rid of these guys? Or if they do one more thing, we're going to get rid of them?
I didn't play with Le'Veon or AB. They got
you didn't?
No, they got there after.
Okay, but either way.
I was there with 7, and no, you're not getting rid of your best player. Like I do remember watching, this was probably 2012, I think. The Pittsburgh Steelers were about to play the AFC Championship game against, I think, New England. And AB was in the locker room with the live stream.
Yeah.
And I remember Mike T said, "Yeah, we'll find him. We'll hurt him. We ain't gonna hurt us."
Now
we'll hurt his pockets. We ain't gonna hurt us.
Right. Now the bottom line is, looking at it 10 years after, Mike T should got rid of him. For who? Like, for who?
I think there's a fine line in that. Like, if a player if it's chaotic in the locker room, if it's a level of disrespect, like you have to be, as a head coach, you have to be in control of your locker room. You have to be in control of your program. You have to be in control of all of that. And everything starts at the top.
Kerry,
if you're not a leader of men and able to control that situation and how it plays out, then things will go.
We heard everything about AB from what he did in Pittsburgh, from when he went out into Oakland at that time. Was there in Vegas? No, it was in Vegas.
About Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, we did.
Nah.
Absolutely, we're not gonna get into it. We heard about it. Yeah, we heard about what was going on there. Let's keep it a buck. He wasn't a model citizen. He was allowed to do that, but it was handled. And again, you never heard about it into the media. But if you knew what was going on, you knew it was handled.
But that's
right?
when you try because when you're trying to win championships, you're not inviting the media into your locker room, and
No, you handle it.
you deal with it on the inside.
There
So
you go.
if you got an issue and you want that kid to play, you deal with it internally.
Listen, Kerry, we've both been a part of teams that guys showed up late for practice. We've heard legendary stories about LT not being where he's supposed to be on game day. And Belichick told you, hey, man, why are you telling me about that? Why didn't you handle him? Fix it before it gets to me. Even when AB went off at the Raiders and did all that other stuff, what did touchdown Tom say? I think I can handle him.
Yeah.
Because
And with him, they won a Super Bowl.
because this is the reason why. This is what everybody doesn't get. Everybody wants you to do something to this player, to this kid, to this grown man, to whatever it is. But when it's time for your paychecks to stop,
Mm.
you're gonna get fired all by yourself. Right? So you got all of these people saying you should do this, you should do that, but they're gonna go to work.
I don't think Josh Heupel had no bunch of people. I think this was a decision he made. I think that this was his decision now. And honestly, I would assume that he is convicted in his decision. I would because you have to be.
I don't know well enough. I'm not going to speculate. But most of the time when these coaches make a decision, Kerry, they call up and say, man, Reed, this son of a gun, yada, 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 he's done
If you
this.
let somebody trick you into doing that and talk you into doing that, then you and I got a bridge in Brooklyn for sale, baby. It's hot. You can get what you need. I got you.
Kerry, I know what he didn't do. He didn't lean on his general manager to give him good counseling for what his roster is going to look like and the effect on his roster.
Let me tell you something. You can stand on whatever you want to stand on, right? You just better win. That's all I'm saying. You just better win. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do it. Hey, listen, you can do it differently. You can do it the same. You can keep them. You can let them go. You can shave your head bald. You can wear cornrows. You can wear your hat to the front and back. You can wear a suit, a sweater vest, a coach, and a wife beater. But you better win, bro.
Afford who you can afford to be, Reed.
Win, man.
If you can't afford to get rid of the player, you go ahead and say, you know what? All we need to do is give him 1.5 and get to the end of this season. But next year, I'm getting rid of him.
I'm not getting rid of him. You can say
maybe next year, Reed, but not right now.
You got to get somebody to replace him.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe next year.
Replacement.
Maybe next year, Kerry, but not right now. Not in spring when all I got is 2 on my roster. I got to get to the season. We'll handle this now.
I'm down the street. I'll go teach them the wing tee. They might need it.
For that, or too late in the spring for that, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
We got a viewer question on the transfer portal.
Talk to me.
Juan X Deep is asking this, guys. When does actual position development to be a pro come into the convo, or are all players just seeking NIL when they enter the transfer portal? What's your thought?
I think it's a myth that every player that gets into the portal is strictly out there to get money. There are a few players out there that truly want to go to a place to better themselves, with the understanding that there might be some financial gains behind it. But I think whenever we always talk about a kid getting the portal, we all say, oh, yeah, he's getting the portal because he wants money. Man, maybe that kid wasn't getting coached well. Or maybe that place just didn't fit him. So you can leave to go get better and go get proper coaching, go get developed and to be in a better player because that system fits you, or that coaching fits you, or that conference fits you, the style of play fits you. And then you can add in the name, image, and likeness down the road.
Let's make sure we are clear on this too, like, because I see it's a lot of people, as you said, Smoke, there are a multitude of reasons why you want to be in the transfer portal. Oftentimes it is because they want more money.
Agreed.
You ain't gonna get more money if you ain't playing. It probably sounds unfair, right? Because some of these high school kids get signed and they get paid. But it's
pocket watching. That's what you're doing. Stop pocket watching.
Hey man, if you already in college and you've been there a year, 2 years, and you like, man, I need to go get paid. Well, your butt need to go get played. You need to play. You got to show something for somebody to offer you some money. If
Well,
you
you can you can get paid if you're sitting on the bench by finishing your degree,
there you go,
going to the academic center,
one
and
hundred
getting
percent. But
getting
not in
in
the
line for a good
transfer.
job.
Hey, hey,
Transfer portal is not what your money's not in the transfer portal. Your money's in the classroom.
Reed, my one of my mentors, Doug Whaley, former general manager of the Buffalo Bills.
I know Doug. Doug was in Pittsburgh with us.
Yes, sir. Wales always said, good players never hit free agency. Never hit free agency. You have good players in your building, you would never ever, I would listen. If you're that guy in my building, you don't have to worry about negotiating. I'm gonna make sure that you get cashed out on time every time. Because if you ever hit it, I'm worried. I know where my bread's buttered. And like you said, Reed, I want to win.
I want to
So
win.
good players get paid. So again, the situation that we're talking about, understand your value. Everybody, coach, understand your value to the program. Player, understand your value to that program and how you directly affect the bottom line of the business, Reed. And that's what? Winning.
I'm gonna tell you this too. We talk about this to go on Juan's question. This pro development come in. Most of these guys not going to the pros.
Yeah,
I believe that we talk about the pros way too much.
absolutely.
Like we spend so much time. If you go D2, you can still go to the NFL. Well, that shouldn't be the conversation if you go in D2. I mean, in the event that you are end up being a pro,
Slim.
we know what to do if you're a pro, right? But the reality of the situation is most of you guys, I go, and I mean, whether I'm at practice for a SEC school, a MAC school, a D2 school, most of the kids aren't going to the pros. So, what is the plan for your life? What is the plan, for how you handle your education or your career? Are you going to play semi-pro and 30 and under ball and
Waste of time. Semi-pro is a waste of time, Reed.
yeah, like what are you finna do? Like, and so many guys are developing no preparation for that. Guys that are gonna be pros, their life is a little more handheld. Somebody's always there to try to help them and try to assist them. No matter what, they're gonna get some opportunities that other guys aren't gonna get. But
Because they affect the bottom line, Reed. Winning.
you got to become way more. Let me tell you this: you can win a lot of games and still not be a pro.
Agree.
When it's over with, there's a lot of guys on championship teams that don't go to the pros. So we got to do a better job of preparing guys, especially preparing them mentally and giving them the tools that they need. Like if you getting NIL money, right? Let's say you getting 50, 100,000, whatever you getting a 200,000. Do you know the type of real estate portfolio you could start with
Mm.
in college? The kind of stock portfolio, the kind of investments you can make. Like it's a lot of stuff you can do. Treasury and bond, like it's a lot of things you can do to make your money grow.
So you saying, Reed, don't take that 200 and go buy a scat bat,
Don't go buy a Hellcat
a
or
Hellcat,
something like
a
like
River Dog, or a Bearcat? Don't do none of that.
man, don't and don't get the most expensive purchase known to man, a baby mama, right? Don't make that purchase either. Like you got a responsibility, man. Like you're in such a great situation. But guys, if they don't go to the pros, man, they feel like that their life is a failure. They feel like, they feel like they're incomplete in some kind of way. But you got an opportunity to go to college, man, and play ball and get your education. You got to value that. We got guys every time they don't get a snap, I'm leaving.
Hey, Reed, can I ask you both a question? And I know both you guys gonna answer it. I'm gonna start with you, Kerry. Kerry, going into your junior year, you're one of the highest ranked players in the United States, and you have, say, LSU come at you and say, you know what, we're going to give you $1.5 million if you hit the portal. Are you in or out?
What is Illinois offering me? Because I'm gonna have a conversation with them.
Illinois is offering you the 500 they told you and say take it or leave it.
Go Tiger.
Reed, Reed, you're a top 5 guard. And Alabama said they want to get you to play center and they're going to give you 750. Austin P can't match that. What are you telling them?
What time does my jet arrive?
So, like, what you said earlier, I get that a lot of these old cats that never got bread, that they would start going into, man, the love of the game, and I want to be with all my guys. Hey, listen, fellas, I'll call y'all.
Hey, we got
Don't
face
call
matter.
me.
We got IG. They got
Yeah, man. Listen. It's been good playing with y'all.
Young people,
Because-
I'm gonna give you the advice my dad gave me. My dad say, whatever you can get $1 million in life, stop whatever you're doing and go get it.
Period.
When they call you and tell you they got $1 million, I don't care what you're doing.
It's different.
You stop and go get the $1 million.
Man, that thing look different when it hit your account. That we like, oh man, look at that. You can show everybody.
bunch of zeros.
Man, look at this Bank of America account. You see that? I got it in 5 different accounts and it still look right.
But there's somebody telling you that you're wrong. That's why you can't listen to these people. There's somebody you shouldn't do that. You like, man, listen, guys, learn business. I was at Sacramento State spring game with Brendan Marion this weekend, and I was with one of their donors. You talking about a multi-millionaire real estate developer. I say it's a lot of y'all trying to see where the NFL scouts is. You should be talking to him.
Agreed.
Because he got more money than most of the cats I know that played in the NFL.
Say it again.
But we don't come in there, you know, I've been around schools and I get kids that call me and they say, well, coach, I'm going to get in the transfer board. I'm like, and go where? You lucky. A lot of you guys are lucky that somebody even let you be on a football team.
Stop.
Right? I'm being honest, man. Like,
it's okay to Reed. It's okay to be a good backup, man.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's nothing wrong with that. They only got 11 on the field at each time.
I'm gonna tell you this.
22 altogether.
I was at a game once, right? I was at a game and I turned around and told one of my buddies on the side, I said, it's really irresponsible for anybody to let any of these kids think they're going to the NFL. Right? Like, you should be talking to them about, like, and man, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being honest. Like, we dealing with it. Like, what are you gonna do with your life? You gotta
Reed, you told him get to the books. Get to your lesson.
Man, you better, man. You're gonna get you're gonna have a job, bro. Like,
I'm trying to get to the league, man. You better get to these books.
Think about this. Biff Poggi, we know who Biff Poggi is.
Yep, I do.
Coached at Charlotte, coached at Michigan when Harbaugh's back at Michigan now.
Yep. Started, helped get St. Francis going along with Masai.
So think about Biff Poggi. When the guys that know his story, he borrowed $25,000 from his father-in-law and started a hedge fund, right? And now he's billionaire status, right? 800
has his hands all over St. Francis Academy out in Baltimore, Maryland.
So my thing is, now think about this. You playing at Charlotte. Did you ask Biff Poggi about hedge funds? You at Michigan? I can guarantee you that every dude on Michigan's team has gotten more than $25,000 in NIL money. Well, has anybody went up and asked him how he started this hedge fund? How he became this big business tycoon? He's got more money than the guys who played in the league. He probably has enough money to buy a team, right?
Probably has more money than most head coaches.
Yeah, so I mean, by far than most head coaches. So the only thing I want kids to understand is you're letting money run through your hands, and you guys know this. It's really easy, and people don't understand this. You get your hand on $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, you can let that run through your fingers pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can F that up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so you getting an opportunity to do that. There's so many great people to study for in the business world, the business realm. I just had a guy give me a master class on the sideline on real estate, and a lot of kids should have heard that, right? A lot of kids should be listening to what he's saying. But I get it. You want to try to play in the league, knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Just don't spend all your NIL money on your car.
Or your jewelry,
Yeah, your jewelry. Like, come
or
on.
your purse.
Like, and that's what I would say. But you did say a bar earlier, Smoke. Everybody that transfers not about NIL. Sometimes you just don't like your position coach, right?
It happens.
Sometimes you don't like the school. You don't. It's a lot of things. Maybe the water in a different town is too hard on your skin. Whatever the case may be, you know, whatever you leaving for or leaving to, you know what I mean? That's your thing.
Afford who you can afford to be, Reed.
Yeah, that's it. Now we had a comment up here. I wanted to just see this. This was, I think, Juan said something in our first. All right, yeah. Juan said this. He said, Josh beat Bama without Nico a couple years ago. Juan, I want you to listen
He
to
had Hendon Hooker, NFL quarterback.
this. Juan, I want you to listen to this for a second. If you kissed a girl a couple years ago, can you feel it today still?
No. He
Couple
won
years
with
ago,
Nico last year.
like couple years ago is a couple years ago. Like that's ancient time, right?
And Reed, you know what? To all due respect to Coach Hyper, Nico didn't play well in that game. And they still won. They didn't play well. But that has nothing to do with it.
I mean, like, what are we talking about? Like,
You just gonna have to wait to see how it play out, man.
oh, I know
That's it. Like, it's
I
okay.
don't gotta wait. I know how it's gonna play out. I don't gotta wait.
Reed, you taking stock out right now?
Listen, man. Let me tell you this.
And they gonna be mad.
If you
Who's they?
Tennessee.
It's only
if you if you
Miles
if
fan.
you're a coach, if you are a coach, I want you to pay attention, right? You guys can send this to anybody in the country. I don't care. If you're a coach and you got a problem with your best player, don't call anybody. Call me and talk to me because I'm going to convince you that you need to keep him, or you're going to lose your job, right?
you're gonna lose your locker room first.
You're gonna look like you out of your mind. What do you mean?
Unless that your best player is one of your worst character players on your team.
If he's your worst character player, you should have already dealt with that. Right? Oh my God, Juan just said something ridiculous.
Say it again, Juan. We got a couple.
Hold on, listen. He's saying that Heupel is a better coach than Nico is a player. Juan,
Absolutely not. I don't know any great coaches.
Juan,
I know that good players make coaches look great.
Oh, Juan.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know any great coaches.
I tell people this. It's all about the players, man.
1000%.
I have called some great plays in my lifetime, boy, and then had somebody ruin it.
Oh,
like,
Juan,
run the wrong route, not throw the right pass, not block the right person. And then I called some terrible plays, man. And I had a guy. And it made me look like a genius.
Hey, Reed, just understand this. There's only one model. There's only one model that the coach makes more than the player. College.
I can't believe that Juan said this, guys. Juan, we're gonna have to get on a phone call.
Why do you want to talk to Juan? And he said that. Like, what are you gonna get out the phone call?
I gotta educate him so he don't say it to nobody else.
Hey, Reed, listen.
I don't want him to say this to nobody.
There's a couple of things that my mom always just tells me. Be careful in who you talk to, because I might walk into the room and hear the conversation, and I might think that you both the same thing.
Whew. You right.
Leave that alone.
Hey, Juan, get you some help, brother.
Now he got help. Hypo help.
Get you some help. That's crazy. I wish Kevin Samuels was alive right now. I was sitting next to him and let him.
Oh my God.
I'll put you on. I'll get you a Kevin. On that note, man, we're gonna get out of here. Now listen, before we get out of here, right? Carrie and Smoke, what kind of razors you using on them bald heads these days?
I don't put no
The
weight.
same one your barber used every time that he pushed your joint back 1/8 of an inch.
Hey, mine's is good, man.
Reed, I can see your temple.
I
I can
can't.
see the top of your head. Listen, Reed.
It's thinning out, baby.
Yeah, Reed. Okay,
No,
all right.
it's
Oh,
not. It's
Reed.
not. No,
Okay,
no,
listen. Okay,
no,
listen.
no.
Listen. Okay, let me sit up. Okay, Reed. It's time. We got to have the conversation.
Let's do it.
It's time. All right. You've been battling this for a while. You've been holding on to it. It's thinning out. Corey Graham, former Buffalo Bill, Chicago Bear cornerback, told me. He said, "Smoke, you got about 6 months until you got to do it." Okay. And I listened.
Hey, that's a hard conversation.
I listen. I listen. Reed, you laughing. This is serious. I
Hard
listen. Reed, look at me. I listen. You don't got to take your glasses off. Just listen. This is smoke talking. I'm your brother. I love you. Okay. You got 6 months. Okay. Start going ahead and getting it down to a 0. Don't come out here looking like Doc Rivers with spray painting that joint on, because the top is getting real shiny. I see it. Right? It's hit. Reed, there's no layers to it. It's time.
Let me tell you this.
No. Reed, just hear me out. Reed, I love you, man. This is hurting me. Saying I'm about to cry, man. Where's my towel at? Reed, I'm about to cry. Listen, it's hurting me, Reed. Reed, it's time. You've been holding on to this. Okay? You got 6 months and counting. By this fall, just like Tennessee, we're gonna see where you're at.
Oh man. Hey, listen, man. Well, listen. All I'm gonna say is this, man. I'm still fighting the good fight.
You are. It's time.
Hey, you brothers, man. You couldn't hold on to it.
No.
It's all good, man.
Reed, Reed, listen. We told you we're fair market value people. We understand the bottom line. When you got to let it go, you got to let it go.
I'm here. Smoke, let me tell you something. I could probably grow cornrows out in 90 days.
I think you can. I'm not saying that you can't. It would look bad, though.
I would like to see it. You should do that.
Man, Reed, listen, I love you too. I'm not going to do that to you, because if you do, you'll look bad. And I hang around you sometimes. I'll be around you. And I don't want people to think that I'm allowing you to do that. You're a friend. I don't do that to my people. I'm telling you straight up. Reed, you got, I said 6, more like the summertime. Summertime, slice the jump down. Listen, zero him down right now.
Oh,
line him up, and then just take your time, because it takes a little bit of courage. Curry, you know it. We fought it for a minute. You kept on saying, "Go ahead and just straighten me back." And
hey, listen to this. Then we're gonna get out of here.
The wife says she liked the way you look with it, Reed. I'm just telling you. Stop painting. You don't got to put the Beijing on him no more.
We got a lot of high school coaches watch us, middle school, college coaches, everybody. The last thing I'm gonna say before we get out of here is, if somebody's trying to convince you to get rid of your best player, they don't care anything about you and they're not your friend. Reed got real love for you. Transfer portal opens Wednesday. Go get you some ball players.
Man, I know the hottest name in the portal right now.
If you listen to Juan, you're gonna lose. Juan thinks that you can outcoach people and all of that. Juan gonna have you messed up out here. Listen to Reed. You better go get you some ball players. And if you need some NIL money, holler at me. I know some people you could call. Tell me what to do. I'll connect you with some businessmen. All right, guys, we out.
Reed.